All right, let me go over this. So let's see what answers did you pick. So you guys pick B for the most part. So the majority of you guys pick B, and then 2 of you guys pick C, 2 of you guys pick E. All right, so thank God most of you guys actually got it right. So I think those of you who got it wrong, you guys probably have the rows and columns, you got them mixed up. So look at this matrix B right here. There's 6 numbers, and all you have to do is count how many rows and how many columns. So the matrix B, columns is vertical, rows are horizontal. So first row is right here, and then the second row down here. So you got 2 rows, and then columns is vertical. So this is your first column, second column, and then third column. So columns are vertical. So this is a 2 by 3 matrix. All right, this is a 2 by 3 matrix, not 3 by 2. 3 by 2 would be the other way around. This is 2 rows and 3 columns. So make sure rows comes first. All right, rows comes first, and then after that you'll get the column. All right, so the dimension is really important because if you identify the dimensions wrong, you can't even do any calculation, all right? You can't do any addition, subtractions, multiplication, you can't do any of that. You have to get the dimensions correct. So rows comes first, and then columns come after. If you guys forget about this, I would say, imagine you guys are in like a movie theater or something like that. So in a movie theater, they have like different seats like this, right? So you have to pick whichever row that you are when you're buying a ticket. So let's just say this is row A, row B, something like that. You take it, and then this is a row. Row is horizontal; it goes across, and then columns is vertical. So make sure you don't get too mixed up. All right. So this is a 2 by 3 matrix. All right. So we talked about addition and subtraction before the break. Today we're going to talk about multiplication of matrix. Multiplication of matrix. All right, so the first thing you need to understand is in order for it to have a solution, when you multiply them together, in order for them to have a solution, the columns of the first matrix must equal to the rows of the second matrix. So the columns of the first matrix, it has to equal to the rows of the second matrix. So let's take a look at this example right here. Let's just say I'm trying to multiply matrix A and matrix B. I want to multiply them together. So before doing any calculation, check to see if there's a solution first. All right, let's look at the dimension of matrix A. So matrix A dimension is 2 rows, 2 rows, and then 3 columns. Right, 2 rows, 3 columns. That's matrix A. And then matrix B, obviously the same thing. 2 rows, 3 columns. And then what you need to do is you have to look at the column of the first matrix and the rows of the second matrix. So you need to look at these 2 numbers. These 2 numbers, if they are the same, they match, then you will have a solution. If they don't match, if they're a different number, then there is no solution. All right. So if the 2 numbers are not matched, then there will be no solution. Um, Renee, so take a look at this. All right. So look at the uh, look at the statement. Look at the statement again. So the column of the first matrix, columns number of the first matrix. So right here, you got three columns, right? So you got three columns right here, and the rows of the second matrix. That means this number right here. So these two numbers need to be the same for it to have a solution. If they are not the same, in this case, they're not the same because one of them is a 3, the other one is a 2, and not the same number. They don't match. If the numbers don't match, there's no solution. All right. So you got to make sure these two numbers match in order for them to have a solution. Okay, okay. Good, good, good. All right. So if you don't understand, just let me know. All right. Don't be shy, guys. Don't be shy. Yeah, this is the first time you guys learn it. So if you don't understand, I'll explain it again. So it's no big deal. All right. Let's look at the next problem right here. So I want to multiply these two matrices together. So matrix A is 2 rows, 3 columns. And then matrix B is 3 rows, 3 columns. And then once again, I have to check the columns of the first matrix and then the rows of the second matrix. So if these two numbers are the same, if they matched, and in this case they do match because they are both 3, right? If they're the same number, then yes, there is a solution. The same number is a solution. Different number, no solution. You don't even have to do it, okay? So whenever I'm in these matrix problem, you know for sure I'm going to check the solution first. Because if there's no solution, I'm not going to waste my time because you just can't solve it. All right, so summary, I'm giving you number one, multiplication of matrix. Inner number, inner number must matched. So the inner number, whenever you are trying to multiply these two inner numbers, they have to match for it to have a solution. If they don't match, then no solution. All right. So once again, inner number has to match. So please write down in the notebook. All right. So now let's just say they do have a solution. Let's just say the inner number matched. So that means we do have a solution. And when you multiply them together, all right, when you multiply them together, the dimension of the new matrix after you multiply them together, the dimension will be the outer number. So after you multiply them together, the dimension of the outcome of the product is going to be the outer number. So once again, let's look at matrix A and matrix B. Matrix A is 2 by 3, 2 rows and 3 columns. Matrix B is 3 rows, 3 columns. Check to see if that's a solution. So the inner number are the same. So that means yes, there is a solution. Dimension of the new matrix after you multiply matrix B and B is going to be the outer number, which is 2 and 3. So I'm going to put it right here. The new matrix is going to be a 2 by 3 matrix. 2 by 3 matrix. That is going to be how big the new matrix is. New matrix, after you multiply them together, the dimension would be 2 by 3. All right, so all of these is just to check, if there's a solution, and if there is a solution, you have to figure out the size. All right, we have not even, done any calculation yet. We'll multiply them together in a minute. For now, let's just try to learn figuring out if there's a solution or not. All right, so like summarize everything that we have learned so far, right? Let me just really, really quick summary. When I tell you to multiply two matrices, the first thing you gotta know is you have to identify dimension of two matrix. Identify the dimensions of the two matrix. All right, that's the first thing you gotta do. Figure out the dimension of the two matrix, and then after that, check to see if there's a solution. Because if there's no solution, don't even bother doing it because there's no solution. You can't do it. Save yourself a lot of time. You can check if there's a solution by looking at the inner number. The inner number, it tells you if there's a solution. You have to match. And then in case there's a solution, then you have to figure out the dimension of the new matrix. You have to figure out the dimension of the new matrix, which is the outer number. The outer number tells you the dimension of the new matrix. So once again, identify the dimensions of the two matrix, check to see if there's a solution, and then figure out the dimension of the new matrix. All right, let's give this one a try. So I want to check what you have learned so far. So a really quick 10 minutes, let's see what you've learned. So check your understanding. I want you guys to tell me the dimension of matrix A, B, and C. So figure out dimension of A, B, and C. And then after that, down here, for matrix A times matrix B, tell me if there's a solution. And if there's a solution, tell me what would be the new matrix dimension. And then same for B times C and also the C times B. So you got to be very careful. B times C times B, they're similar but very different. So the order, it matters, all right? The order, it matters. So you got to be very careful on these. All right, I'll give you guys a few minutes. Then you guys go to QDEC and give it a try. Tell me the dimensions. Check to see if there's a solution. And if there is a solution, tell me the new matrix dimensions. But if you think you're done, you can draw something on the screen, right? And if you don't, I'm just going to adjust your name. All right, so dimension comes first. All right, and you did pretty good. Keep going. Um, Hazel, doing really good, really good. Ricardo, yes, yes, keep going. Hey, the rest of you guys, give me something, right? Let's give it a shot. I don't think it gets any easier than this. So just give it a try. Enjoy an easy lesson. Right, Andrew, check the dimension for matrix C. Is that 3 or like 2? I can't tell. It should be a 4 by 2. Not so sure if there's a 2 or 3. And then the 8 times B, yes, there's a solution. Now tell me what is the new matrix dimension. So the new matrix dimension is going to be the outer number. It's the outer number. And then, hey, if there's no solution, guys, if there's no solution, don't even bother trying to figure out the new matrix dimension because we cannot multiply them together. If there's no solution, skip the next part. The new matrix dimension, there's no such thing because we can't even multiply them together. All right, the rest of you guys give it a try. Alia, Francisca, Hammer, Gail, Crystal. All right, so if there's a solution, you have to figure out the new matrix dimension, which is going to be that. But if there's no solution, then forget about the new matrix dimension because you cannot get it. Guys, make sure the order is correct, especially on the last one. Matrix C times matrix B, the order is slightly different, all right? So you got to be very careful. All right, Chevelle, you're almost done. You're going pretty good. You're doing pretty good. All right, Chevelle, be very careful on the last one when you're trying to figure out the new matrix dimension. So look at the order. The order is reversed. It's not B times C, it's C times B. So we arrange it so that you can find the outcome. Uh, Renee, I think you got it. I think you got it. Yep, that's it. That's it. That's it. You got it. Oh, we go over this. You guys are doing pretty good on the dimension stuff. I think you guys got it. Then the solution here, check to see if there's a solution. That part is a little messy. And then the new matrix dimension, you guys are still kind of stuck. All right, so everyone go back to the Microsoft Teams meeting. Look at how I'm going to do this, all right? So go back to the Microsoft Teams meeting. Watch how I'm going to do this. So for matrix A, the dimension is 3 rows, 2 columns. And then matrix B is 2 rows, 3 columns. Matrix C is 4 rows, 2 columns. All right, let's look at matrix A times matrix B. So matrix A times matrix B, why don't we write dimension right on top of it. So 3 by 2, and then 2 by 3. So check to see if that's a solution. The inner number, they have to be the same. And in this case, they are the same. Both 2's, right? So yes, you do have a solution. And if there's a solution, new matrix dimension is going to be outer number right here. So you're going to put it right here. It's going to be a 3 by 3. 3 by 3. All right, let's do the next one. B times C. I'm going to put the dimensions right here. 2 by 3 for matrix B, and then 4 by 2 for matrix C. Check to see if that's a solution. The inner number, they are not the same. They are not the same. So in that case, no solution, and you don't even have to do the next part because you can't multiply them together. It cannot be done. So no solution. All right, and then the last one. This one, quite a lot of you guys make a mistakes right here. So even though this is very similar to the one before, the order matters. The order, it matters. So the C is the first matrix. So that means you put it right here, 4 times 2. And then matrix B is 2 by 3. So check to see if that's a solution. They're the same number, so yes, that's a solution. And then the new matrix dimension is the outer number right here, which is a 4 by 3. 4 by 3. So the order, it matters. So even though compared with the previous problem, the previous problem is B times C, and this one is C times B. So we are using the exact same matrices, but one of them has no solution, the other one has a solution. All right, so the order, it matters. Okay, so you gotta be very, very careful. All right, so far, what do you guys think about that? Do you guys get it? Kind of get it? Are you guys still confused? Can you guys give me some feedback? You know, maybe a thumbs up, thumbs down, an emoji or something. Let me know if you guys are getting this. What about the rest of you? Can you explain the last one? Yeah, of course. All right, so the last one, you are doing matrix C times matrix B. All right, you have to do matrix C times matrix B. So matrix C dimension is 4 by 2, and then the matrix B is 2 by 3. All right, now check to see if there's a solution. So the solution, whether or not they have a solution, depends on the number right here. So the two numbers, if they're the same, then you do have a solution. And in this case, they're the same because they're both 2's. The inner number is matched for it to have a solution. So yes, there's a solution because they're the same number. And then the new matrix dimension, when you multiply them together, dimension is going to be the outer number, which is 4 by 3. All right, 4 by 3. So the reason you got to be careful is because the order matters. If you mess up the order, and the previous problem, right, almost exactly the same. The order is reversed. It is not C times B, it is E times C. Once you flip the order, when you check If there's a solution, you will see that they're not the same, all right? In the number not the same, so you have no solution. So you gotta be very careful on the order. Mm, all right, Hammer gives me a thumbs up. Good, thank you. I take it the rest of sleeping. Come on. All right, so you just learn if there's, if you can get the solution, and if there's a solution, you figure out the new measure. Right now, we're going to actually do the multiplication, right? Okay, I get it now. All right, good, good. All right, now we're going to actually do the multiplication. So find C times B. All right, I need to multiply matrix C and matrix B right here. I want to multiply them together. Let's see how this can be done. First of all, just like before, figure out the dimensions, check to see if there's a solution. If there's no solution, and you don't do anything because no solution. So very important, you have to check to see if there's a solution first. As you can see, it's 3 rows, 2 columns. And then matrix B is 2 rows, 2 columns. And then why don't we put it on the side and then see if there's a solution. So 3 by 2 and then 2 by 2. Make sure the order is correct. It has to be C coming first and then B comes after, all right? The order, it must be correct. Oh, I think they got it. All right, to see the solution, look at the inner number. The inner number match. They are the same number. So yes, you do have a solution. And then when you multiply them together, the new matrix, after you multiply them together, will have a dimension of 3 by 2, the outer number. When you multiply them together, the new matrix is 3 by 2. All right, now let's actually do the calculation. So here, draw an empty matrix with a dimension of 3 by 2. We know that when we multiply them together, the new matrix will be a 3 by 2 matrix. So I want you to draw an empty matrix with a dimension of 3 by 2. So this is how you're going to do it. I want you to use your imagination. So 3 rows is going to look something like that, all right? It's going to look something like that. You have 3 rows. It means we need 2 lines. We need 2 lines so that we can have our first row right here, second row right here, and then the third row down here. So we need 2 lines. So the 2 lines will give us 3 rows. And then we need 2 columns. So 2 columns, so that means something like this. That means we need 1 line right here so that we can have our first column right here, and then the second column right here. So this is what I want from you, all right? An empty matrix. There's 3 rows, 2 columns. So a total of 6 compartments. There are a total of 6 compartments, 6 empty spaces. So we can put in some numbers in here. So this is 3 rows and 2 columns. There are 6 empty boxes that we can put in numbers. We need 6 numbers. All right, now let's try to figure out what number to put here. All right, this part you gotta be very careful. All right, calculation is not hard, but you gotta be very careful. So let's start with the upper left box right here. This box right here. So this box on the upper left is the first row of the new matrix. and the first column of the new matrix. All right, so the location of this box right here, it is the first row of the new matrix and the first column of the new matrix. We will only take rows from the first matrix, and we will only take columns from the second matrix. So that means I'm going to take the first row. So this upper left box is the first row. I'm going to take the rows from the first matrix. All right. We only take rows from first matrix. I will take the first row, and then first column, and I will take the first column from the second matrix. Second matrix, we only take columns. All right. We will get this number by using the first row of matrix C, the first matrix, and the first column of matrix B, second matrix. All right, this is what I'm going to do. First number times first number. So 2 times 0 plus second number times second number. So -1 times 2. All right, now let's go ahead and solve this. So 2 times 0 is 0 plus -1 times 2, which is -2. And then add them up. So 0 plus -2 is -2. So that would be the number in the upper left box right here. All right, let's keep going. Now I'm going to do the upper right box. The upper right box. So the upper right box is the first row of the new matrix. I'm going to take first row from right here because we only take rows from the first matrix. All right, we only take rows from the first matrix. So I'm going to take the first row right here, and then this is the second column. The second column of the new matrix will take our column from the second matrix. We will take our column from the second matrix. So first number times first number, 2 times 3 plus second number times second number, -1 times 6. Renee, Emma, Chevelle, Natalie, confused. It's okay. We'll keep going. You just keep watching. All right, let's keep going. All right, so 2 times 3 is 6 plus -1 times 6 is -6. And then add them together. 6 plus -6, you get a 0. You will get a 0. All right, so 2 numbers down. We got 4 more to go. All right, let's see. Right here, this is the box that we're gonna get at right here. So this box is second row. So that means we're going to take our rows from matrix. We only take rows from first matrix, all right? We only take rows from first matrix. We'll take the second row, and then this is the first column. This is the first column. So we'll take our first column from second matrix. And then first number times first number. So 7 times 0 plus second number times second number. So 4 times 2. All right, now let's go ahead and the multiplication. 7 times 0 is 0 plus 4. Add them together, you'll get an 8 right here. All right, let's do this one right here. So this one right here, this is the second row. Second row. So we need our the first matrix. This is the second column. So we need our columns from the second matrix. Right now, first number times first number. So 7 times 3 plus second number times the second number. So 4 times 6. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 4 times 6, which is 24. Add them together, you get 45. All right, so the last two, lower left is the third row, all right? Third row right here. First column. So we need the first column. That means we're going to have 1 times 0 plus 9 times 2. So after you solve it, is 0 plus 18, which is 18. And then the last one right here. Third row and then second column. So we'll take the column right here. All right, now multiply together. 1 times 3 plus 9 times 6. All right, so there you have it. This is the final answer right here. So get rid of these. So your final answer is this matrix 3 by 2 with 6 numbers. All right, so I know some of you guys are getting it, and some of you guys are still confused, but it's all right. We'll do some problems together. It'll make more sense. But I can tell you that when I first learned it, I was so stuck. Yeah, it took me like a whole week just to figure this out. So if you guys get it right away, that means you guys are smarter than me already. So when I was in 10th grade, when I learned this, I was so stuck on this. Like it just didn't make any sense. So yeah, it takes a little bit, takes a while. All right, so I really need you guys to write down a journal's notebook, or at the very least, take a picture of your cell phone because you guys need to keep a record of this. All right, you need to keep a record. All right, now I want you guys to give it a try. All right, I want you guys to try the next one. Okay, so check your understanding. I want you to find matrix F times matrix G. All right, matrix F times matrix G. So check if there's a solution first, because if there's no solution, you don't have to do it right away. You don't have to do it. So first thing you have to have a solution. So you will start with the dimensions of F and G. After you figure out the dimension, put it right, and then check the inner number. Check the inner number, see if they match. If they match, unfortunately, you're gonna have more stuff you have to do. If they match, no solution, and then the new matrix dimension is going to be alternate, all right? The outer number will be the new matrix dimension. And then after that, I need you guys to draw an empty matrix, all right? Empty matrix with dimensions that you found right here. So you have to figure out how to draw an empty matrix, whatever the size is. You figure it out, and then figure out the numbers inside, right? So let's go to QDEC and give it a try. All right, sure you got it. Hammer, you doing good. Awesome. Hey, oh yeah, good. Uh, Andrew, hey, Andrew, check the dimension of matrix G again. Check the dimension of matrix G. Uh, Kenjail, dimension good, but okay, there's a solution. After you realize the solution, the outer number, the outer number is going to be the new matrix dimension. You have them flip, you have them reverse. So can you fix that? The new matrix dimension, you have them flip, you put it the other way around. All right, so those of you who figure out the new matrix dimension, now you're going to have to think about how are you going to draw that? How are you going to draw that? Uh, hey, what's up, Renee? If you get disconnected, uh-oh, I think you guys are struggling on how to do the empty matrix. All right, so to look at my screen, so those of you if you are struggling on how to draw the empty matrix, take a look at my screen. So 2 by 2, 2 by 3, same number, yes, solution. And then the outer number is the new matrix dimension, 2 by 3, 2 by 3. So the empty matrix is 2 rows by 3 columns. So 2 rows will look something like this, all right? 2 rows. That means you need 1 line right here so that you can have your first row up here, second row down here. You only need 1 line. And then 3 columns. So you need 1 column, 2, and 3 columns like this. That means you need 2 lines. You need 2 lines so that you can have first column right here, second column, and then third column like this. All right, so basically the empty matrix will look like this, something like that. So usually I would draw 3 of these so that I can soften right away. So I would start, the upper left box right here, keep going, and then keep going like this. So Renee, can you join back in Peter Deck or no? Or is it just not working? Oh no, no, you're back in Peter Deck. Okay, good. Uh, Andrea, I can't see your screen. Wait. Is my screen start working? Can the rest of you guys see my screen? Is it working for you guys? Okay, okay. All right, can you can quit the meeting and then join back in, see if it works? Yes, today, I don't know, like earlier today, I can't share my screen at all with sixth period. It was a nightmare. Because connection is not the best in school. Natalie, let me see what you got. All right, Natalie, you draw an empty matrix like the one I showed you on my. I need a 2 by 3 matrix, 2 rows, 3 columns with 6 compartments. All right, 6 compartments. All right, Hammer, stop for a second. Hammer, stop for a second. So we only take rows from the first matrix. So we will get our rows, and we only take columns from the second matrix. All right, we only take rows from the first one, first matrix, F, and then we only take columns from the second matrix, the matrix T, which means when you start with your upper left box, when you start with the upper left box is first row, and we will take the rows from the first matrix, the first row, and then first column, we will take columns from the second matrix. All right, so first matrix, we only take rows. Second matrix, we only take columns. All right. We got it. Hey, don't forget about the negative in front of the 2, all right? Don't forget about the negative in front of 2. So yes, 8 times 4 plus negative 2 times 7. So I'm going to compute this. So 8 times 4 is 32 plus negative 2 times 7, which is negative 14. And then come together, 32 minus 14. That's going to be 18. So that's the upper left box. Hey, when your matrix is kind of messed up, you have too many rows. All right, can you guys keep going and see if you can figure out the rest? Hey, I think you forget about the negative sign in front of the 2. So the negative sign in front of the 2, I think you forget about that, which makes you forget about it. and from the 14, which mess up your number right here. So you gotta be very careful. If you think about it, the calculation is not too hard. I mean, it's just simple addition and multiplication. But if you make a wrong, careless mistake, then the whole thing is wrong. You gotta be very, maybe slow down a little bit. And then 32 minus 4. If I have $32, now someone took 14. All right, so take your time, don't rush. Let's do the next one. So the next one, you guys do the here. So this box, this is the first row, first row, second column. All right. So this box is first row, second column, which means we will take the first row from matrix F, and then second column from matrix E, and then you need first number times first number, so 8 times -5 plus, can you guys keep going? Second number times second number. Or so be very careful of those negative. Not that negative symbol, forget about it. All right, guys. So usually I don't recommend you guys using calculators, but this time I think it is better to use a calculator. So if you are, taking too long, or if you think it's just, too much work, I will let you guys go ahead and use a calculator on your phone. Use a calculator on all of those simple addition and multiplications. So use your phone calculator. On the Peninsula. So up here, 8 times -5. This is 8 times -5. So it is not 5, all right? So be careful on this right here. This 8 times -5. So it's not the same as 8 minus 5. All right, so there, you okay, keep going. Pretty good. So if it helps, you can do it on, with a real pen and all that, all right? So it's up to you guys. I know it's a little hard to do that on a laptop, since the screen is smaller, I understand it's kind of hard to do that, so you can go ahead and do it on your notebook. Just, give me the final answer. Yeah, Renee, did you get disconnected? All right, guys, keep going. Mm, all right, some of you guys are getting really close. It's almost done, so that's good. That's good. All right, I'll give you another 2 minutes. Let's see if you guys can right hammer. Well done. Chevelle, you input it. Oh, wait, on which box? The cross on which box are you looking on? Oh, the bottom row. All right, let's look at the bottom. So the bottom row, let's try to figure out how long the lower left. So the lower left corner, right here, this is the second row, the second row. So that means we need 0 and right here. And then this is the first column, first column. So we need 4 and 7 right here. All right, now let's try to figure this out. All right, first number times first number. So 0 times 4 plus second number times second number. So 3 times 7, like this. All right, now solve this. 0 times 0, and then 3 times 7, which will give you 21, and then add it together, and your answer. When Wi-Fi today keep on disconnecting. Come on, come on. Let me guess. Thinking, thank God that your Wi-Fi is working when class, right? Stop working video game. That's gonna right. Because I moved to a new house and I need to. Oh, house, nice. Whoa, yeah, actually, you are very home right here, right? So be careful. This is a zero. This is zero. I think when you draw a zero, you when you write a zero, you write it very simple with six, which mess up your own calculation. So just be very careful. Be very careful. The zero, when you write it looks too much like a six, and it will mess up your own calculation. You use right. Here you go. All right, so let me give you guys the answer. So those of you who are still working on it, just check your answers right here, right? So the final answer that you're supposed to get is right here. So this is the final answer. It's a 3 by 3 matrix. We got six numbers. So those of you who got it, it's really good. Really, yeah. I remember when I first learned this, it's basically murdered the crap out of me. Like, it was just so. Right. So the good thing about matrix is that if you think about it, you don't really have to solve the whole thing, right? You don't really have to solve the whole thing. And the reason I say that is because let's just say this is a multiple choice on an exam. When you are in an exam and it's multiple choice, all you gotta do is maybe like solve like one or two out of six. Because all you gotta do is make sure that these two are correct and the rest you pretty much don't have to solve it, right? You don't have to solve the whole thing. So for example, let's say you got four choices on the exam, four different uh, choices that you can pick from, and you all you gotta do is make sure whichever choice has an 18 on the upper left, whichever choice has an 18 on the upper left, and you know that's the correct answer. Anything that's without an 18 on the upper left, you know it's going to be the wrong answer. So technically speaking, you don't have to solve the whole thing. All you gotta do is pick a couple numbers, just solve for, and then look for whatever answer choices of the correct answer at that particular position, and then you can, right away get the correct answer. So that is good thing about. But if this is not a multiple choice, then solve the whole thing. I know it's pretty time consuming, but just be careful. Should be pretty. Right. So that's for today. Let you guys work your homework at. Right? Let me show you guys what your homework at. Um, So to go to the Algebra 2, go to plan, and under loop of October 26th, your homework is going to be right here, matrix multiplication, right? Matrix multiplication. Click it, download it up, and you can work on it, right? So a lot of you guys are missing a lot of assignments, a lot. So, just to let you guys know, missing assignments, it's gonna drag you down by so, just do me a favor, give it a try, right? At least, give it a try. If you're stuck, you can definitely ask me after school. Usually, I'll be here after school, at 3:20. Wait, lagging? Uh-oh, that's not good. Hey, it's not my fault, alright? It's the school Wi-Fi crap. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that. But anyway, that's it for today. So, you guys can go ahead and go to your end period. Oh, and, whoever, guys, let me know who you are. Yeah, some of you guys will get here late. Let me know who you are so I can mark you present. Because if anyone was not here when I was doing attendance, I most likely might have some, like, you cutting off, uh right, okay, I will see you guys, on Thursday, right? So you guys have a good one. I will see you guys on Thursday. Alright, see you later, Hammer.